The first fear is death. I'm going to die. This is going to end. Holy shit. Impermanence. Nothing is permanent. This planet will not be here in a few million years. I won't be here in a few years. Where am I? That's the first realization. And we're going to come to that, right? Then the second realization is Tara. Tara says, oh, okay. I give you a boat. We'll sail together. We'll go through this life gently, But I'm still fierce, but I'll take you to the other side. I'll detach the things along the way and we'll go there. It'll take a little longer, but we'll go there. We'll go to the dissolution in a boat. In fact, Tara is always sailing in a boat. It's a boat. It's a boat. And then Tripura Sundari comes next, and when you see everything in the universe as beautiful, you realize dissolution. If you see anything as ugly, you have missed it. So everything is beautiful. Even death is beautiful. That moment in Oppenheimer when he sees the atom bomb explode and he looks at it and says, I am become death. It is both epiphany, ecstasy, and oh my God. That's the end of everything. All religion is gradations away from instant death to how to deal with life, right? And along the way, it's a spectrum. All religion is a spectrum, right? Let me show you a couple of other things on that. The principle of facing Maha Kali is you have to become a fearless warrior that destroys the cycles of time and karma. So you are approaching her naked, ready to take on the three worlds and destroy everything. You're a shaman. The Indian word for the shaman is Veera. The tantric word is Veera, warrior. Veera means fearless one. Fearless one. So just imagine, this is the most horrible form they could find to think about. Blood drinking, 10 heads, necklace of garland of skulls and tools and weapons, elbows hanging, just gruesome, right? This is how they saw it. They said, this is it. This is Maha Kali, the end of time. This is it. I wanted to show you a typical Kali Puja at a home in Calcutta. This is how we do it, okay? So just watch this. So this, by the way, happens every night in some parts of Bengal and Assam, right? You can see this, but there are very few places this happens except Bengal and Assam right now, where this Kali Puja occurs, right? And that means an entire culture built on worshipping the end of time, the dissolution of all things, the mother who will destroy you and love you. Imagine that. An entire culture built on that. This ain't no sattvic Hinduism, that's for sure. This is buffalo killing, goat eating, blood drinking, Kali, man. This is serious shit. So this, if you think about it from the Western tradition point of view, the closest we come to is the Dionysian tradition, right? Which is that nature is both violent and divinely blissful loving, right? At the same time, right? Alex, would you agree that the Dionysian is probably the closest to this?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you've got the right, like Dionysus is basically like the source of life, right? When you're connected to Dionysus, like everything's flowing through you. You're completely just flowing with everything. But at the same time, like, right, his kind of followers, right, were the maenads, right? These groups of women who were reported to like tear animals apart and tear men apart and tear them limb from limb and eat them and, and that whole thing. And yeah.
They've now they're banning it. In a way, it's a good thing. But I used to go to Nepal during this Kali Puja, and they would slaughter thousands of animals in one go, right? The blood, the smell, the fires was the most toxic fear you can imagine, right? But then a catharsis occurs. And catharsis here is like sublimation of your mortality into infinite space. It's suddenly what you thought of as precious as, oh my God, I'm vegetarian. Oh my God, I can't stand this. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, just goes bleh, right?
Yeah.
And you're like, holy shit, this is nature. This is what nature really is like. We can be in our safe skyscrapers in Manhattan and nature will come and that's the music you will hear before she comes. Go on,
Yeah,
Alex.
and it's really interesting too because there's something in us that's drawn to that,
Yeah.
and that's that idea of the telos, right? Like, and I know when I've experienced it, I've spent a lot of my life terrified of things, right? I'm a paranoid kind of neurotic person, right? But at the same time, and it was psychedelics that really kicked it off for me. Like giving me that taste started to pull me in these directions where I've just, it's like, oh my God, like the things that draw me, the kinds of intensity of experience that draws me. I'm like, why do I do this to myself? but I can't help it, and it does give you more life.
I'll tell you something. I was initiated both into Sri Vidya and into Tara, right? And when you're initiated into Tara, there's a lot of blood involved. There's one ritual where you have to put your hand into her womb, right? There's a womb there in Tarapeeth. You put your hand in, and you don't know whether your hand is going to get cut off or bitten by a scorpion or a snake. You have to put your hand in, right? And that is the first degree of initiation. It's like, ah! Put your hand in, and you're going to die. You're going to die at this very moment. And that's what it's like, that we are so sanitized to violence and death and nature by modern living that we have lost the connection to this archetype in us. And when it comes, we get aroused sexually. When you hear that drumming, I'm telling you, if you are there, you're going to get horny as hell. There is something about it that just goes, let's go animal, baby. Let's just do it. Let's just do it right now, right here. Take off your clothes. Let's just do it. That animal starts to come out, and oh my God, it's so powerful. Whether it is you give up this and fast, or whether it is bloodletting, is the principle of offering my life in return for new life, for rebirth. Think of it at the extreme level of that barter, right? If I come and I say, oh, I'm going to surrender to the Divine Mother, but I do it for half an hour every day, and then the rest of the time I'm not surrendering, then I miss the whole point, right? But if I come and it is something I'm willing to do to die, whether it's giving up something or fasting or bloodletting or whatever it is that I'm willing to do, that is the path of Kali. That what are you willing to give up to go into this threshold? That is the question that you have to ask yourself when you take this journey with me, right? When you meet these 10 goddesses, you will understand, because they are, each one is an aspect of you and your mind in training for letting go, you know. So we're going to learn how to let go first completely with Kali, but then bit by bit, we'll let go of everything. And this is not letting go of your ego. This is letting go of your fears and your mental constructs. So it's mind training versus ego subjugation. We're not going to worry about the ego. Just by controlling the mind, by learning how to meditate, by learning how to control our body, our mind, our breath, our everything, we become free. So when you look at the illustration of ancient art, you always see them as spectrum. Some are very dark and fierce, some are brown and lighter, some are blue, and then by the end you have this kind of radiant Kamala, this one. So it's like there's a whole spectrum of these, right? So what are the 10 fears that the Dash Mahavidyas help us understand, right? So let's go through each one. So this is the spectrum, okay? Kali, Tara, Tripura Sundari, right? Bhuvaneshwari. This is Tripura Bhairavi, Chinamasta, Dhumavati, Baglamukhi, Matangi, Kamala, right? These are the 10, and this is the normal spectrum that we go through in exploration, right? And they each represent a fear of that we are letting go one by one by one, right? So at the very essence, if I go directly to Maha Kali, all impermanence comes under my control. All death comes under my control. I become fearless of everything, right? So this is the surefire path to complete power, to become a Vira, a real Vira in the world, okay? This is the surefire one. The second part is that I need help. I have emotional uncertainty. I'm scared of the unknown. So Ma Tara comes and carries me on a boat through the journey, right? Jago Bhairavi Aaj Antakarn mein. This is the journey, right? That we are taking. That I'm taking a boat with you and we go together through the path to the other side, Tara takes me to the other side, and I'll initiate you into the Tara mantras as well. Then the third fear, Tripura Sundari, is that the world is disgusting, dark. I hate it. It's so negative. I'm feeling impotent. I'm feeling emotional anxiety. Everything is not for me. Ugliness, right? That I want to let go and see even the most bizarre things as beautiful. Nature, everything beautiful. This is the Tripura Sundari part. We'll look at that. Then Bhuvaneshwari is the universal mother, Maha Maya, Matri Mata, right? This is the divine mother of everything, right? And we're going to look at her. And here we're dealing with that I am alone, I'm not loved, I don't belong to anywhere, I don't have love around me, I feel alone. How can you be alone when the Divine Mother loves you? And this is the Bhuvaneshwari part. So if you look at the first 4 sounds, it's Kreem, Stream, Kleem, and then we come to Hreem. Now, we go into the next level. So those are the first 4. That is the Satya part, the beautiful first part. The second part, we're now dealing with controlling our mind, right? So we have fear of not having control. And I'm going to teach you the 9 powers of control, right? The 9 obstacles that Bhairavi will let you overcome. So Bhairavi is also known as Kundalini, right? Kala Bhairavi, all these forms of Bhairavi. We'll talk about that. Then fear of separation and detachment is Chinamasta. That means it is actually, I am scared of having samadhi, of dissolution, right? So how do I help you overcome your fear of that dissolution of samadhi that's coming? And so this one is to teach you that there's nothing about you that's separate from that. You are it. That separation is nothing. And then that becomes detachment. So in that detachment, I go in through, right? And I give up all these attachments. Then Dhumamati means cloud or smoke. It is the story of how Sati becomes smoke when she burnt herself. And Dhumavati is not, now it is interpreted as death and widow and all those things. But what it really means is fogginess. Is that I come to smoke and I can't see where I'm going. I can't see focus in my work, in my journey. This lack of focus. So I train myself to focus, right? Oh, by the way, Bhairavi is warrior training. Bhairavi, we're going to do warrior training, right? How to be a samurai warrior. And then Dhumavati is the fog of life. How do I go through the fog and come out and use it creatively, right? Then the next one is the fear. Baglamukhi is all those things that came to block me all the fucking time. Uncertainty, obstacles, legal issues, parents, family, blah, 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 all the people talking. How do I get past that and stop it, right? Then I go to the next one. The Matangi, that I don't know how to say it. I don't know how to speak. I don't know how to sing. I don't know how to do the mantra. I don't know how to beautify what I'm feeling. I want to sing it. I want to say it. How do I get rid of that fear of not being able to do that, right? Communication, Bhak Vadini. And then the fear of darkness and poverty, Kamla, right? That means, how do I trust the Mother's grace to look after everything? How do I get out of my poverty mindset? How do I remove the blocks that stop me from attracting grace and abundance in everything I do? Right? Those are the 10 fears that the Mahavidyas conquer for you. That's why they are called the Mahavidyas, the great wisdom. And once you've done that, so if you look at the spectrum, we can go the other way. So if I get rid of my fear of darkness and poverty, I move further. If I become a communicator and I can chant mantras, I become further. Then I remove obstacles. Then I go through the fog. Then I go through, I become more detached in my thinking. I develop psychic control and power of my body and mind completely. I then learn to love the universe and feel my heart center completely open. I then see beauty in everything. And then I'm ready to cross over and boom, I dissolve. So it's a spectrum. See the spectrum? Beautiful. And each one has a yandra. We will go into them in detail, right? What they mean. All Indian esoteric traditions, Tantra, Vedanta, come with multiple stories, right? Multiple stories. And you will notice that some of the stories don't make any sense because they don't look like each other. You will have one story and then there'll be another story of the same thing that doesn't make any sense. Well, wait a second. Wasn't that the story about, that happened? No. And why? Because truth is about perception, right? What I see as one truth, one story, if I see it another way, will change the whole truth for me completely and I'll understand it completely. Like Steve may understand something in one way, so I have to tell him a story in that way. But Tara will understand it another way, so I have to tell Tara in that way. Now, the storyteller is one who sees the needs of all of you and tells you the story according to your needs. Right? This is what you want to become, a storyteller that tells a story to a child, to an obtuse fundamentalist Christian, to a happy sattvic, I am holier than thou yogi, to a vegetarian, vegan, politically active person who thinks you're a schmuck for killing animals. All of them, I have to tell a different story, right? Because I don't have the ability to speak one story and everybody gets it. So all the itihasas of India, all the Puranas, the mythologies are to help us come to understanding, right? Now I understand. Okay. That's what you want, the moment. Aha. Like the aha. That's what we want. Aha. So even with the Dash Mahavidyas, we can approach it in multiple ways. What I've given you is my esoteric approach to it, which is consciousness spectrum and through time, right? But we can approach it astrologically. We can approach it geometrically as directions, 10 directions. We can approach it as Kundalini, up the spine. Each of them represent one of the gates up the spine, right? So we can start with Kali at Muladhara and end up with Shodashi above the head. See how it goes? Lakshmi opens the whole thing. So we can go in any one of these storytelling directions we want to experience the Mahavidyas, right? Or we can go to Kamakya temple and worship at them, right? And see the energy come through the goddess at me. Or I can put a little altar in my house and put my favorite Mahavidya there and she talks to me. That's up to you. Each story you tell is going to just help you dissolve better. Like I tell the story of this Kali, right? This is my Kali, right? This is the Kali in Dakshineshwar and also the Kali here in Laguna Beach in California, right? Now this Kali is where I had my experiences of Kali, right? This is the Kali of Ramakrishna. This is the Kali of Vivekananda. This is the Kali that comes with my family. So when I go to that Kali, and I took Tara and all there, we had inner access. We went to the inside and sat with her, right? Nobody's allowed. We sat there. And she gave us darshan. We were there. We got that power. And she vibrates. Because think of it, how many thousands and millions of mantras have gone into her over the years? How can she not be a vibrating entity? So anything in your house, if you maintain a vibration on it over and over again, it becomes sacred. If you look at it and give it life and, light an incense and put the smoke under the nose and feel it's alive, it'll become alive. Just like the tree in Wu Wei we saw outside and said hello to the tree or the plant, they become alive, right? This is how Kali will talk to us. If I worship and meditate on the pure, non-local, non-dual essence of everything, this void, this transcendental object at the end of time, right? Then that is the ultimate way, whether you do through Advaita Vedanta or Kali or Shiva, that's where you are. You can choose that as your center point from which to emanate into the world. The difference is that if I start from Shodashi and go to Kali, I'm on a progressive journey, right? If I start from Kali and come into the world, I am superpower. I have no fear. I have no limitations. The same thing as coming into the world from Shiva is that if you are Shiva, the world is yours. What is there? It'll get rid of it. Tomorrow burn up a new world. Sa, new world. Right? Same thing with Kali. Kali is no different. Kali saying cream, cream, home, cream, cream, home, cream, cream, home. Gone. Poof. That day didn't satisfy me. Go into my void, come out, poof, all days gone. Now a new day starts. Why do I have to be limited by the trappings of the karmic experience that you gave me last week? Or yesterday, or today, or what you said, or how it hurt me? Hum Astraya Pat. That's Tara. Shoot me to the other side, right? So the principle here is that where do I want to put my center of gravity? And then I work in the world, right? So by the end of this journey, we will see the whole spectrum, but we'll end up with Kali. Does that make sense? Because they're all Kali. I'll read you the story of this. So if you look at the spectrum, it's also a kind of lunar spectrum, and we see it from new moon to full moon, right? And one can actually see that there are esoteric ways of looking at the 10 phases as well, rather than the normal 15 or Shodashi or Panchadashi, or, you can look at that also. We're dealing with energies that trigger cycles in both men and women. If you do certain Matangi rituals with me, men will develop breasts and start putting out milk. It happens. You just rub the chest and boom, you start wanting to feed the whole world with your milk. And men actually have said that their breasts have increased in size by doing it. Oh dear, I'm sorry, but it happens. I think you can do that. You can do whatever you like with this power, right? So the other approach to the Dash Mahavidyas is that it's called a kavach. They're an armor. They protect us, right? And so if I understand the Dash Mahavidyas, I'm actually protected from everything. Now in India, this is where Tantra, see, the Dash Mahavidyas are the foundation upon which Tantra is built, right? And in India, a tantric, I'll tell you a story. People used to come to my house in Jorbagh in Delhi with suitcases of cash, right? I'll ask me to do things for them, right? Now, I would not do it, but just imagine the human need to tap into this power, right? This is the truth, that when you cultivate these, you are generating such immense power in you that the world becomes almost, you can bend reality. First of all, primarily psychically, but it has physical consequences. Things do happen, right? Those of you who are experiencing miracles with me are because of these states, right? When you want something, Yoko did it by just generating aeroplane seats empty next to her every time she went, and she did it. Every one of you have this ability to bend reality. Now, as a tantric, I can tell you that this is one of the siddhis that comes. You can bend reality. But the more you do this work, the more humility you develop. So you therefore cannot interfere with the world, because you don't, because I know that if I wish somebody bad, at this level of vibration, something will happen. And do I want that karma on my being? Right? This is the question you have to ask yourself. Is that what is the karmic consequences of these desires? And what is the ego part that's playing its role in that? Right? This is what we're going to understand. So, most important aspect of Tantra is to protect yourself. So you build what is called an armor of Kali, a kavach. And the Dash Mahavidyas are the kavach. And we'll look at that also. But I'll just give you an example. This is from the Tantras, the Agams, right? So the story goes in the Devi Purana and in the Shiva, slightly in the Shiva Purana also, that when Sati wanted to go to her father's yagya, right, the one that she burnt herself in, Shiva said, I don't think you should go, right? Husband-wife argument, good argument, right? And, and then he said to her, you always do what you like, so go and do whatever you want, Now, they're inside Kailash, inside the body, right? So she blocks every orifice. and she becomes Dash, the 10-headed Maha Kali, in front of him, right? Black, tongue sticking out, blood everywhere. Now, before this, she was Gauri, the fair, beautiful, white one. And he goes, "Where's Gauri? What have we done with Gauri? What have we done with Gauri?" He goes, "I am Gauri. I am Shama. This is the true me." Right? And in the 10 directions you will try and escape from me, I'll block you with these 10 shields. Right? And in these 10 ways, I will keep you here. When you understand that you and I are the same, then you can go out through the top in the bindu. Right? So, when you do the kavach, you're doing a 10 directional meditation. And then you go out the top. So you become Shiva, who is in the womb of the Divine Mother, cannot get out, and then has to worship the 10 directions and then leaves through the top, the bindu. This is the whole principle. Right? It's a very interesting principle because it acknowledges that without the Divine Feminine, there is nothing in life. So she says, right? The goddess who's in front of you is Maha Kali in the east, right? There in the east. In the sky above me is Antariksha direction is Tara. On the right side is Chinamasta. On your left side is Bhuvaneshwari. Behind you is Bagla Mukhi. At the southeast corner, right of you in front, is Dhumavati. On the right hand back corner is Kamla, Nerit Kona. On the other corner is Matangi, left of me. And on the left side front of you is Tripura Sundari, Shodashi. And in you, in your Muladhara, I am Bhairavi. And then you shoot up with Tara, stream, and go out the top. See the 10 directions? Yeah. So I have studied these carefully, and this formula works best. The idea is you face east, directing east, right? And you go cream. So one way to do it, to make a kavach every morning, watch me, is you go cream, stream, hum, hreem, hleem, dhum, shreem, aim, kleem, hasara, aim, dream. Right? So this gives you the kavach. So you can practice this today with me. Let's try it, okay? So, and the more you chant this, you will feel so much power suddenly in you, right? Because all the Dash Mahavidyas are being summoned in one go. So this is the meta prayer to get the Dash Mahavidyas all going in you, right? The meta. We're going to integrate all of them right now. Hey, we don't need one at a time. We'll just do one right away, right? So we're going to use this from the Devi Purana and do it. So imagine, or you can face east, wherever you know east is. Best is to do it in the sunrise in the morning with the sun in front of you, right? And you look east and you can click your fingers as you do it. So the way I do it is I click my fingers as if I'm pointing in the direction, right? So I go clean like that. I do this, right? This is a very good tantric technique. And this also, like smacking your left hand, is also very good. So we're going to click and do it, all right? So in front of me, Maha Kali, cream. Then above me in the sky is Tara, stream. To the right of me is Chinamasta, hum. To the left of me is Bhuvaneshwari, hreem. Behind me is Baglamukhi, hleem. To the right, in front of me, right 45-degree corner is Dhumavati, dhum. Behind me, right 45 degrees, Kamla, shreem. Behind me, left 45 degrees, Matangi, aim. Then Tripura Sundari, front, left hand side, in front of me, corner. Clean. And then Muladhara at the bottom of my spine. Tighten your butt. Hasaraim. And then shoot it up. Stream, treem, 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 treem. So stream becomes stream when you go up. Okay, you want to try it? So we're going Cream, stream, hum, hrim, halim, dhum, shrim, aim, kleem, hasaraim, trim, cream, stream, hum, hrim, halim, dhum, Shrim, Aim, Kleem, Hasaraim, Trim, Cream, Stream, Hum, Hrim, Halim, Dhum, Shrim, Aim, Kleem, Hasaraim, Trim. How many of you feel a surge of power emanating inside you? Did you feel like a power coming into you? Do you feel your left side more active? So, the secret bija here, there are two that are very important that you not used before, or if you have, it's good. Halim, Hlim, behind me. That means protect me from all legal and other blocks and obstacles. Bangla Mukhi. Hlim, right? Hlim. And Muladhara, tighten your butt. Hasaraim, Hasarim, Hasarim. This gives you Kundalini power. Hasarim. So, just like when Tripura Sundari Bala comes down, Ain, Kleem, So, right? Kundalini goes up with Bhairavi, Tripura Bhairavi the same way, but you add Hasara to the word. So you go Hasara Aim, Hasara Kleem, Hasara So, and that lifts Kundalini up. Hasara Aim, Hasara Kleem, Hasara So. Hasara Aim, Hasara Kleem, Hasara So. Cream, stream, hum, harim, halim, hum, shrim, aim, cream, hasaraim, trim. This is why I don't mess with this power. You're all now officially tantrics. If you like, I'll also teach you how to do a Kali Puja. Because Kali Puja requires like red flowers and white flowers take the place of blood and seed. And you can use that to create a Kali Puja. It's a very interesting puja, right? What this will do, this 10 directional dance, is that it not only protects you, but it makes you healthier. It converts ojas, your sexual energy, into kundalini energy. It makes fire happen. It does all the things your body needs and your mind need to shut up and get going, right? Just like Chandi does, Aim Reem Kleem Chamundaya, which is same thing. These are the two parts, Chandi part and Kali part. This is the way, right? But today I just gave you the basics. We can go into each one. There are very few serious practitioners around, and I work with many of them, but it is, you can be your own guru in this path. So I can help you, and the more you practice it, Durga Kali are actually gurus, okay? You don't need anybody. They'll teach you. You don't even need Raja. You just need Raja to give you the words, and then you can do it on your own. And next thing, they'll come and start sitting with you and teaching you. Ramakrishna used to say that Kali was just there all the time for him to talk to advise, to get whatever he needed. He manifested her in his own mind. Nobody else was. Some people said they saw her running around, but that's mythology. But the idea is that, does it come to you psychically and become a part of you, right? Can you engage with it? Can you talk with it, right? So one theory is that these are interdimensional beings who are trying to communicate with us, right? And I think that's a good one. And let's take it that if they're trying to communicate with us, they're preparing us for something, and they're giving us blessings as we go along. So take them. Who are you to stop that? No, thank you. I don't want any blessings. Piss off. Of course you do. Take the blessings. It might come as a monster, but you'll be surprised. It'll be beautiful. When Bhairavi comes, it's always a monster. Let's see what else I got here. Any other goodies? This is the living place where you can still find the Dash Mahavidyas worshipped in India. It's Kamakya Pitam in Assam, in the Himalayas, northeast of India, right? Living Kamakya temple, living Shakti temple too, where they have sacrifices, they do the whole thing. It's living temple, right? And these are, I'll let you download these. These are the mandalas for each one. We'll look at them for each one. And you can download these and print them out and paint them and do whatever you like. So I'm just going to teach you the Kali mantra that we will use, right? So just say it with me. Sit down. And the way you do it, Kali's energy is strongest on what is called the Amavasya, the new moon. Okay? So 2 days ago was the full moon. So in 2 weeks' time comes a new moon. Right? On that night, if you chant this mantra facing east at night 108 times, and then you drink wine and you eat meat or something red, she is very happy. See, the Bengalis allow for everything. If you worship Durga Kali, there's no, Sattva is different, So you don't have to eat meat. You don't have to drink wine. Something red, something sweet, like a sweet of some kind, right? But if you do this mantra 108 times, she starts coming at you like bam, 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 bam. Okay? So you can report back to me, because we'll be doing the Dash Mahavidya. You can report back to me, how did it work for you? You can do it today, every day if you want 108 times. 108 times will take you about, 15 minutes, 14 minutes. But if you do it even 3 times every day, you get the power. About 9, 10 o'clock at night, right? Or midnight also, When the moon is darkest. Best is cloudy night with no moon. Total blackness. Go sit outside with no fire and just sit and do it. Go do it, Very powerful, very powerful. So here's the mantra, guys. This is not part of our Sri Vidya Dash Mahavidyas. So this is our beginning of the Kali, which is, say it with me slowly. Om, Kreem, 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 Hom, Hom, Hreem, Hreem, Dakshine Kalike, Kreem, 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 Hom, Hom, Hreem, Hreem, Swaha. Cream, cream, cream. You can start with an Om, you can leave the Om off. Cream, 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 Hom, Hom, Hreem, Hreem, Dakshine Kalike, cream, 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 Hom, Hom, Hreem, Hreem, Swaha. Krim, 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 hum, hum, hrim, hrim, dakshine kalike. Krim, 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 hum, hum, hrim, hrim, swaha. Krim, 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 hum, hum, hrim, hrim, dakshine kalike. Krim, 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 hum, hum, hrim, hrim, swaha. Some of the ways so that you're prepared is that when you're doing meditation now, you will see much more blackness in your third eye and things like that. You will also possibly see two eyes and a tongue. You will see blood. You will see, you might see blood if you're a woman in your body. You will see black dogs. You will see dark older women may come to you, right? Be aware. Always bless them, give them something, right? Give them a gift, whatever you can. It'll come to you either as a little girl who is looking like homeless, or an old woman may come, right? You might see crows, right? And crows are a good sign because they're Dhumavati. Crows represent those who carry you between this world and the other world, right? They are allow the ferry to cross, just like Tara does. So these are some of the psychic motifs that might happen to you in this practice. These are all good. Do not be scared of them, right? And if you find this scary, don't do it. Just do Sri Vidya. It's fine. I'm not forcing you. But if you choose this path, all your other religious leanings, all things will vanish. And you'll become liberated from any religion, any philosophy, any gender, everything will vanish the more you do this. And then you become what is called a Kapalika, which is what I am. So these are choices we make. You wanted to hang out with Raja? Enjoy.